So let's go to the Heritage Foundation, Vice President, National Security, Foreign Policy, Jim Carafano. Jim, what do you make of this? Just out of abundance of caution, don't mess around there?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we all remember the situation in the Ukraine where a crew shot down a commercial airline, a Malaysian commercial airliner. So it's real. Now, you would think that these military aircraft, they fly different patterns, different altitudes. You shouldn't mistake them for a commercial airliner. But, you know, we have some reporting now that the U.S. Global Hawk was actually shot down independently by a tactical level IRGC commander. And so if they're making those kind of unprovoked actions, you wouldn't want to risk a commercial airliner, even though the risk is probably not super high. You just don't know because you don't know these crews, you don't know these systems. So definitely the smart move to make.
Yeah, we made the same mistakes ourselves back in 1988. Ronald Reagan was president when we shot down an Iranian commercial jet. So anything can happen. And we still don't know whether Iranian authorities on the ground even knew they were shooting at a drone. It could have just as easily been to them a manned jet. Bottom line, anything can happen. The fact that the president held off on a strike in response, what did that tell you?
Well, I think the United States has been spot on. First of all, the mission is to keep the waters open. And that has to, it's not to have a tit for tat fight with the Iranians, it's to keep the straits open. So that's the priority. And I think the other thing is to keep the pressure on Iran. And to do that, we need to build an international coalition. So I think the more restraint and proportionality and responsibility the U.S. shows, that just puts more pressure on the Iranians.
Do you think that the Iranians, the president has obviously given them the benefit of the doubt on a couple of instances, not only holding off the attack, maybe thinking that they had nothing to do with it, at least at the highest government levels, that it could have been an errant commander or whatever doing something crazy, that they will respond in kind? They've already talked about the fact that they withheld an attack on a U.S. military jet, I think that had 35 soldiers on it.
Right.
What do you make of this behind-the-scenes stuff?
I think everything we've seen is kind of a kind, where it's not what I would call escalatory behavior, where people are doing things on top of things on top of things. It's they're kind of operating in that space, and it seems that that's where the Iranians want to stay. And I do agree that the attack on the Global Hawk seems like a one-off. So it might have been an inadvertent attack. That's reasonable. But even if it was, I think very clear the Iranians got the message that that level of provocation or higher can actually get strikes against them. And we want to make a point, which I think is really important. If the United States does conduct a military strike on Iran, it's not going to be a punitive strike, like punishing them. It's going to be what we call a counterstrike, which is a strike to take out an imminent threat to U.S. forces or their capabilities or to civilians.
We shall see. James, good talking to you again and getting an education on all this. James Carafano. All right.